Well, welcome to another tasting. I'm here with Pat. Thank you, Pat.
Of course.
And we're here. Yep, we're here at Oktoberfest. So we're waiting for things to get kicking off a little bit here at San Luis at Madonna Inn Center. What we're going to do is we're going to do a tasting of the new 2024 Pagan, Heathen, and Idunn, which I haven't done in quite a long time, so that'll be exciting to see your point of view on it, because it's in the melomel section, which is just fruit and honey, and there's less of a herbal quality to it, so we'll see how that one goes. We'll go ahead and get started with Pagan.
This one here?
Yeah. Each year, the recipe changes just ever slightly because of environmental impact, like the type of honey, the fruit being used, kind of like with wine, like each season, the grapes are a little different because of the terrestrial, like mineral qualities and environmental impact and all that other stuff. So we'll see how it goes with this round.
Whole new vintage.
Yeah, exactly.
Good, it's crisp. Very good. Smooth too.
Yeah, I was thinking.
Not too much bite.
Good. Yeah, I added oak in it for these two. That one doesn't get it, but these two were oak aged for about a month. So a little bit of that bite, I think, comes from the oak quality. And while I was filtering it too, like every time you filter it, it gets a little cleaner and a little cleaner. But I didn't want to get rid of too many of those qualities that kind of give it a nice, like thicker, like mouthfeel to it and taste. Because the smoother and cleaner it is, the more of the alcohol that cuts through and less of the like fruity and herbal type of qualities that come through. But I feel like this one in particular doesn't taste as strong as it is.
I think
it's about, if I'm not mistaken, it's a 9. Or no, this one's a 7.5.
Okay.
Yeah, 7.5. And we're using buckwheat honey, plums, and marjoram and coriander. So as usual, I come at it with a real cooking quality rather than a brewing type of sensibility. But I feel like this one has more kind of like a whiskey quality to it.
Almost, yes. I agree. Well, cheers.
Cheers. Before it. This one's also. Maybe this one was the one that was a little stronger. Yeah, this one's the 9. This one's a 9.3. So this one has more.
You can tell a little bit.
Yeah, so this one has more of a herbal quality to it. There's coriander, raspberries. It's a lot lighter on those aspects, and then it also uses buckwheat honey too. So I used the same honey.
Just a slight difference.
Yeah, slight difference.
Very slight.
Both oak aged and heather, and that one, which is where the name Heathen comes from.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's heather, coriander, and I might have one more in there. I might have a little bit of chamomile in that one also. So it's like a lighter floral taste in it with the raspberry, which gives it kind of a perkiness, I think.
A little, not a lot of tartness, but a little bit.
Yeah. But definitely the alcohol, I think, is a little bit more present in this one for sure.
get on this action. Tannins.
Yeah, these ones are a lot lighter. This one's definitely a nicer, darker quality.
Yeah.
And I always appreciate that one. You can kind of see it's just a few different hues.
Yeah, I see it.
Sorry for that. It's hard to tell, but some of them, you know, the darker the base you use, that definitely influences the tannins. And funny enough, I didn't know where the word tannin came from because I'm not big in the wine. And strange to say, the drinking community, I just kind of do my own thing. But tannins comes from the idea of tanning leather. So using oak and other substances to tan leather and give it that dark brown quality.
I see. That makes sense.
Yeah, it's in the word. You just never knew it.
Cheers.
Now in the past, I've gotten 13.3% out of this. This year, I wasn't able to do so good on the percentages. And the flavor profile is, I think, a little bit drier this time around than normal because the heat was so bad this year. It was really hard to keep good, solid temperature control for me because I don't have like a solid area to keep exact temperatures.
So
that yeast was struggling a little bit, but it still did it really well. I mean, all the charts and graphs I put together, it shows that it did really well. But overall, it was fermenting in about the low to mid 80s the entire time. But it fermented for the entire duration, like a normal duration of a month. And then I let it rack for another month, and then I let it do an oak sit for another month from that. So for a total of 3 months of the total brewing process for at least the Pagan and the Heathen, for sure. The Idunn was only 2 months because there's no oak added to it. But yeah, it came out a little drier, and I think the ABV was affected by the heat also, because it was a little bit more lethargic in the heat. You know, it's like you're outside working, you're gonna work
a little lower.
Yeah, so I think it's a little lower because it uses sufficient amount of apples. Like it's abundant.
Okay.
I don't juice any of them either. I put them in solid, so it's not a cider or a cider.
I see.
It can't be qualified as that. It's a melomel because I use whole fruit, so it's not no juice at all. So it's nowhere near. Well, not.
Are they cut or are they just?
Yeah, just cuts, and I put them in there. So no mashing, no squeezing, no juicing. And the solid pieces of fruit, and the yeast just eats at it. So if otherwise it was juice or mashed or anything like that, then it would be considered a cider or a cider.
I think.
Yeah, it just depends on what fruit you're using and how you process the food. It's all crazy.
Apples.
Good.
Yeah,
good.
very good.
Yeah, I use oh yeah, there's apples in both of those ones too.
Yeah.
As well, actually.
They're more abundant in that one.
Oh, yeah, very much so. That's all there is. It's just apples, raisins.
How do you pronounce it?
Idunn.
Idunn. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Idunn.
So, apples, plums, cherries, marjoram, allspice, oak, raspberries. I believe there's chamomile, coriander for sure, heather for sure, and they both use the same yeast, like a higher percentage cider and wine yeast for these two. I think I'm going to use the same yeast for this one also, but yeah, these ones are almost very much the same, except for like
they are very close.
Yeah, except for some ingredients. Yeah, that one's probably one of the most simplest recipes that I do. Just apples, honey, and chamomile, and it's really good. And I think during, like I said, a good season of like cool weather, I think the Idunn would probably pull through and give a good strong like 13%, like it did the first time around that I made it.
Okay.
So
that's my favorite of the three.
Really, that one?
Yeah, I like it.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely I think the cleanest in flavor.
Yeah.
Like it's so straightforward and it's pretty good. Yeah.
I like the forward flavor it has. As compared to these two.
Right on. Yeah, I think normally the Pagan is the one I gravitate towards.
Yeah.
Right, that one is pretty good.
Pagan,
Heathen,
Idunn.
Idunn. Yeah.
All excellent stuff.